Hi, welcome to the Commercial Gas Engineer channel. I just want to go through with you a CP16 form. That is a gas testing and purging non-domestic sheet. Basically, CP stands for corgi pad. So I'm going to show you what I do when I fill out my form, but please leave comments below as to what you do differently. Alright, so first of all, in the top left, you have the job address, which you obviously put in as the address you are going to carry out the cert at. Try and be specific and try to put what part of the building that is as well that you are working in, because there may be more than one gas network that you have to work on, so gas supplies and so on, and gas meter and gas appliances, so be very specific. Client details, depending on your circumstances, you can put information here, but I tend to cross this section out. And then the company that I work for, I tend to put here, and then registration number of the company, the gas safe registration of the company that you work for, company details here, postcode, telephone number. Telephone number isn't that important, but it's still good to put it here in case they want to query the report. The client's telephone number or your job address, you may not need to put this here. This is probably less important than your number. And then if you're carrying out a tightness test, tick the box of tightness test and the location it took place. So sometimes it may be a local tightness test just in the plant room, or it may be a tightness test right back to the meter. So you can be specific. Is it a strength test that you're doing? Like if it's a new installation of pipework that you're testing and so on. If it's not, do not put that in the strength test section. Purge, if it's a purge, put tick for purge, but if it's not, do not. Okay, so now you have strength test. You're not doing a strength test, so you can cross this out, because when you're carrying out a tightness test, you do not need to do this. But if you're doing a strength test, go through step by step what you are doing, and then you just basically select what boxes you are carrying out. It is fairly straightforward. You got the different types of strength test here, pneumatic or hydrostatic, and you put that in here. Whether it's a new installation, existing, or new existing, where it's just part of the installation that's new. Components not suitable for strength testing being removed, yes or not applicable. Calculated strength test pressure, you put that here. Test medium, stabilization period. You probably are not going to be carrying out a strength test if you're doing servicing and repairs. Strength test findings, and you put your findings here. Then onto the more common parts now. So we'll avoid the purging bit because you're probably not going to be doing much purging, but if you are, you fill out this section over here. Okay, risk assessment carried out, written procedure for the purge prepared, no smoking signs, etc. displayed. So this is just the basics of almost like a checklist of what you'd be doing. It's basically asking you, are you carrying out what you're supposed to for your purge? Are you doing the safety measures and so on? And then you put in your purge volume, and then your minimum flow rate, and then the time in seconds. You do this from your calculation. I've got videos on this, so feel free to watch those. Tightness testing, more common now than what you'll be doing. You'd normally have natural gas here if that's what you're testing. So, and then you'd have installation. It'd probably be existing as well. You'd normally put a no here unless you've got some serious weather changes going on. And when you're doing a major tightness test, like on a huge site, you want to do this very early in the morning, and also when with prior notice, and when with another person with you and so on. Okay, so that you don't have to tick this box here, so you'd say no. But if you're testing in the daytime, sun shining down on you or at the meter and so on, you can get some strange differences. All right, meter type, diaphragm, rotary. Okay, so normally it'd be a diaphragm meter, the square type ones. And then meter designation, that's the type of meter you've got. You can usually find this right beside the barcode on, for instance, the diaphragm meter. You would see it written on there. Many people get confused about this one here and don't know the answer. Meter bypass installed, usually no, but double check. But 9 out of 10 times the meter hasn't been bypassed. But there are times when I've actually seen the meter bypassed. That shouldn't be in normal circumstances. Okay, installation volume, then I've done a video on this. You should know how to do this anyway. And then you'd have test medium. You just do gas, for instance, because you're testing with gas. And then tightness test pressure, and then you would put your millibars in here, and then your pressure gauge type would be either electronic or water. gauge. Water would usually take longer, and electric would be a quicker test, but look in your book for that to understand the differences. And then you've got your two differences here, depending on whether you're doing your one, or your one would be on this, you'd use the MPLR, but if you were testing underneath your one, you would basically be finding out the MAPD. Look in your book for that. So you would see your chart and how much in your smallest occupied space, and then you'd work this out here. And then, but if you were doing MPLR, you'd have your leak rate worked out. Then your let by test, you'd have that written in here, and your stabilization period also, and your tightness test. But I've made a separate video on that, so have a watch of that video to help you out. Inadequately ventilated areas to check. Usually this is no, but do make sure that the area is ventilated well where the meter is. Sometimes gas meters do not have much ventilation, and you can note that on the report. Barometric pressure correction necessary. This is like if you're way high above sea level, I believe. But correct me if you so choose to. Okay, then you put your name here, you print your name, you can sign, and then you put your license number, gas safe license number, the issue date, and then you can also, if you like, or if someone's present, you can give this to the person for them to put their name and to sign, and they can write down who they are here. It may be a manager or your manager, it may be someone else. Sometimes you can say not present, you can tick that box there. This is if you write out a warning notice, you put the serial number here for the warning notice, and then here this is put more purge details, whether it's failed and so on. Okay, I hope that's helped. Please leave comments in the section below.